In this video, we will learn about circle. So altogether, we have 5 main subtopics under circle, which are to determine the equation of a circle, to determine the center and the radius of a circle, to find the point of intersection, find the equation of tangent and normal to a circle, and last one, find the length of tangent from a point to a circle. Okay, so this is an introduction. So circle comes from the cross section of a cone. So if we have a very straight cross section from a cone, then we're going to obtain a circle. Definition of a circle. A circle is set of all points in a plane equidistant from a given fixed point called the center. Means here, if we have the same um, if we have the same distance from a fixed point in the middle called as center to any given point in the circumference, means we're going to have a circle. So this is an example of a circle. We have a fixed point in the middle called a center. So distance between that center to any given point on the circumference. Circumference here means ukolide, lilitan, circumference. So the distance we will name as radius. And then summation of radius will be diameter. So that is basically a circle. So basically, we're going to have two different equation of circle, which are standard equation of a circle and general equation of a circle. For standard equation of circle, we will obtain the center itself based on the equation from h and k. And radius would be from r. And for general equation of a circle, the center would be negative g and negative f. And radius, we have to use a formula of Z g squared plus f squared minus c. From standard equation, we can convert it into general equation by using expansion. And if we want to change the other way around from general to standard equation, we will have to use computing the square method. Let's do some example on how to find equation of a circle. So first example, we have to find the equation of circle given we have fixed point A and B, where A and B are diameter. 2 points after we connect it, we will have a diameter there. So let's illustrate it first. So we have a circle here, and then given 2 points on the circle, point A and point B. So A here in this case is 1,8 and B would be 340. So if we connect these 2 points, we're going to have a diameter. So main rule, if we have a diameter, means our center here will lies at the midpoint. So in order to find center, straight away just use a midpoint formula between A and B. Means you have to add up those 2 points divided by 2. So we will have 1 plus 3 over 2. And the second one will be 8 plus 14 over 2. Simplify this up, our midpoint or center in this case would be 211. Okay, center with center. Now we have to find the radius. That is main two key points in order to find equation of circle, which are center and radius. Okay, so if we have a center and any point on a circle, means in order to find the radius, you have to find the distance between those 2 points. So just use a formula of a distance, or you can use the formula of a circle, which is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared. X and y here is any given point on a circle. I just write it here. X and y point on a circle. And then h and k in this case would be our center that we obtained just now. So directly substitute into this formula, our radius in this case would be, so I just choose point A. You can also choose point B, up to you, it doesn't matter here. So we would have 1 minus 2 squared plus with 8 minus 11 squared. In this case, our radius would be 10. Once we obtain the center and the radius, we can substitute this into the standard equation of a circle. I rewrite it first. So the equation would be x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal to r squared. Next, substitute the center and the radius into this formula. So our equation would be x minus 2 squared plus with y minus 11 squared equal to 10. And that will be the standard equation of a circle. So, from here, in case you want to find the general equation of a circle, you can just expand this formula to obtain. So here it would be x squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 22y plus with 115 equal to 0. I just expand the standard equation, and from here, you're going to obtain the general equation of a circle. So the main key point here is, in order to find equation of a circle, first we must find the center. Provided the condition here, they give 2 points that form a diameter. That's why the midpoint would be the center. After that, we have to find the radius. Once we obtain these two, we just straight away substitute into the standard equation of a circle, and we will have both equation of standard and general equation of a circle. Okay, that's for the first example. Moving on, if we have another situation, example 2, find the equation of the circle passing through the points 9, -7, -3, -1, and 6, 2. So this condition is fixed given that we have 3 points on a circle. If we have this situation, straight away use the general equation of circle. I rewrite it here, x squared plus y squared plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equal to 0. Alright, so now since we have 3 different points, just straight away substitute one by one into this equation in order to find g, f, and c. Once we obtain the value of g, f, and c, straight away we will have the general equation of a circle. Okay, so I substitute the first point. Here we have 9, -7. So in this case, we would have 81 plus 49 plus 18g minus 14f plus c equal to 0. We can simplify this up to make sure everything in simplest form. So I rewrite it as 18g minus 14f plus c plus with 130 equal to 0. And that's going to be the first equation. Repeat now for the second point. So we have -3, -1 as a second point. So substitute this into the general formula. We will have 9 plus 1 minus 6g minus 2f plus c equal to 0. So simplify this up. We have -6g minus 2f plus c plus 10 equal to 0. And that's going to be our second equation. Now, for the last point, we have 6, 2. So, same as before, just straight away substitute into the formula. So, we have 36 plus 4 plus 12g plus 4f plus c equal to 0. So, simplify this up. We're going to get 12g plus 4f plus c plus 40 equal to 0. And that's going to be our third equation. So, I highlight 3 main equation here. From here, we have to solve it simultaneously. You just have to perform simultaneous equation to find G, F, and C, which I won't show it here. You have to find it on your own. I'm sure you won't have any problem here. Okay, so after that, after you solve it simultaneously, our G would be, in this case, -3. F would be 4, and last one C would be negative 20. So now in order to find the equation of a circle, just substitute G, F and C into our equation just now. So our final answer in this case would be x squared plus y squared minus 6G plus 8. Sorry, minus 6x. I substitute G, so minus 6x plus 8y minus 20 equal to 0. And this is basically general equation of a circle. Okay, so I just recap it back. So in this situation, given that 3 given point on a circle, we must use the general formula. Substitute each point into the general formula to obtain 3 different equations. From there, you have to solve it simultaneously, perform persamaan serentak. Up to you whether you want to use elimination method or substitution method to find G, F and C. Once you obtain that value, just substitute it back into the general equation formula to find the general equation of a circle. Okay, that's the second situation. Moving on, next one. So, find the equation of a circle passing through the point 1, 1 and 3, 2 with a diameter y minus 3x plus 7 equal to 0. Alright, so for this question, we have a situation where we were given with 2 points on a circle plus with equation of a diameter. Alright, so same as before, if this happen, we have to use the general equation of a circle. I just rewrite it first. Okay, now same as before the previous example, for the first 2 given point, you just have to substitute it into the equation. So the first point would be 1, 1. Straight away, I substitute and simplify it up. So we would have 2G plus 2F plus C plus 2 equal to 0. That's going to be the first equation. Alright, and now the second point, we have 3 and 2. So our equation would be 6G plus 4F plus C plus 13 equal to 0. And that's going to be the second equation. Okay, now for the third equation, uh, slightly different from before. Now we have the equation of a diameter. Alright, so I just try to illustrate it. So we have a circle and then we have the equation of a diameter given in the question. Okay, so now the only point that lies on a diameter would be center. So because center lies at the middle of our diameter. So from the general equation of a circle, our from the general equation of a circle, our fixed center will be negative G, negative F. Means now we have to substitute this into diameter equation, where X would be negative G and Y would be negative F. So substitute this up, our equation now would be 3G minus F plus 7 equal to 0. And that's going to be our third equation. After that, once we obtain these 3 equations, same as before, you have to solve it simultaneously. Buat persamaan serentak to find G, F and C. In this case, G will be negative 5 over 2. F would be negative half. And last one, C in this case is 4. And then last part, substitute all these 3 values into the general equation of a circle. So our final answer would be x squared plus y squared minus 5x minus y plus 4 equal to 0. And this is general equation of a circle. Okay, settle with the third example of equation of a circle. Okay, next one. Example 4. determine the radius and the center of, we have an equation of circle. Means now the situation is the other way around. Normally, we have to find the equation of circle. But now, given the equation of a circle, we have to find what is the center and length of the radius. Okay, so if we compare it, this is basically general equation of a circle. I just rewrite it here to make sure you can see it clearly to compare this up. Okay. So in order to find the center from the general equation, it is basically negative g and negative f. So first we have to find g and f. So directly compare for g part, we would have 2g is negative 6 means g would be negative 3. Okay. Now repeat the same process for f value. So we would have 2f is 4 means f would be 2. So since for center, it is negative g and negative f, means that our center in this case would be 3 and negative 2. So settle with center. Now we can find the radius. So in order to find radius, first we have to obtain value of c. So directly compare now. C is clearly 4. Substitute this up into the formula, which is g squared plus f squared minus c. So I directly substitute one by one. We would obtain 9 plus 4 minus 4. In this case, our radius would be 3. So that is how you find the center and the radius from the general equation of a circle. Okay, so sometimes the question will be very specific where the question will instruct you to determine the center and the radius of this equation, the general equation of a circle, by using completing the square method. Means we must perform CTS in order to find the center and radius. And as before, we already discussed it. Once we perform the completing the square method, we will obtain actually the standard equation of a circle. Means this question instruct us to convert from general to standard, and from there you have to find the center and the radius. Okay, so we don't have any other choice but to perform the CTS. Okay, so for CTS, first step, always separate the variable so that you will perform CTS separately for each variable. So first, I just rearrange back the variable, separate the variable. First bracket for x variable, so we have x squared minus 6x. And then for the second variable, we have y squared plus 4y. And we have a extra constant of 4, so I bring it to our right side. That's how we get negative 4. Now we may start the completing the squared for each variable. Start with x first. So here we would get x minus 3 squared minus 9. And for y variable, we would have y plus 2 squared minus 4 equal to negative 4. And last part, just rearrange all the constant to our right side. So we would have x minus 3 squared plus y plus 2 squared equal to 9. And that is basically standard equation of a circle. So if we compare with the standard, I just rewrite once again the formula x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal to r squared. So the center would be hk. So if we compare this up, center would be 3 negative 2. And radius in this case would be r. So here in this case, our r is 3. So this is how we determine the center and radius by using completing the square method. Next part, we have to find the intersection between two circles. So given these two equations, we have to find the intersection. In this case, you won't have any other choice but to perform simultaneous equation. So I just label the first circle as the first equation and second circle as our second equation. In this case, it is easier for you to use elimination method. Up to you whether you want to use substitution method, but it is a bit tedious. So second equation I will minus with the first equation to get for x equal to 0 means x in this case is 0. And then after that, just substitute x equal to 0 into any equation. Up to you. I just substitute into the first equation. So here we would get y squared minus 3 equal to 0 means y would be plus minus 3. So here our points of intersection would be 0, 3 and 0, negative 3. Next, we have to find the intersection between the circle and the line. So we have first one equation of the circle, I label as the first equation. Next equation of a line, I label it as the second equation. From here, we have to find the intersection point. In this case, we have to use substitution method. So I just substitute the second equation into first equation first, and we will obtain x squared plus with 5 minus 2x squared equal to 10. After that, simplify this up to obtain a proper quadratic equation. So we have x squared plus 25 minus 20x plus with 4x squared minus 10 equal to 0. So we would have 5x squared minus 20x plus with 15 equal to 0. We can simplify it more to be x squared minus 4x plus 3. Now we can factorize this up to get x minus 3, x minus 1 equal to 0. So finally our x values will be x equal to 1 and x equal to 3. Since the question asks for the intersection point, so we have to find the y coordinate. So when x equal to 1, y will be 3. And when x equal to 3, y will be negative 1. So our points of intersection here are 1, 3 and 3, negative 1. Settle with the point of intersection. Next one. Example 7. Find the perpendicular distance from the circle with a center 0, 7 to the line 3x minus 4y minus 32 equal to 0. Here, perpendicular distance means a shortest distance between a point that lies outside of a circle to the center. Alright. So let's say I put here, and then we have a straight line 3x minus 4y minus 32 equal to 0, and we have a center 0, 7. If this happen, we can use straight away a formula of modulus of AH plus BK plus C divided by sine of A squared plus B squared. H and K here comes from the center of our circle, and then ABC is basically the constant that partner with our straight line equation. So now in order to find the distance, I just straight away compute. A in this case is 3, so 3 times 0. B would be negative 4, so negative 4 times with 7. C would be 32. And then divided by a squared plus b squared. So we would have 9 plus with 16. Calculate this up. So our shortest distance in this case would be 12. So if the question asks for a perpendicular distance or shortest distance, we just have to straight away use this formula. Next one, we will learn on how to find the equation of a tangent to a circle. So our equation will be x1 plus y1 plus g x plus x1 plus f y plus y1 plus c equal to 0. So not to worry, this formula will be provided during examination. So x1 and y1 is given point in the question. So g and f, c we will obtain from the equation of a circle. So let's do some example. So we have to determine the equation of tangent and normal to a circle. So at the given point 3 and 1. So first step, we have to determine five main things first, which are first, value of g. So compare this up. Our g is 4. Next, find the value of f. So 2f is 6 means f in this case would be 3. After that, compare to obtain value for c. So c is 8. And then x1 in this case is 3. And last one, y1 in this case would be 1. After that, straight away substitute this all these five main points, all these five main values into equation of a tangent. I just rewrite it first, our formula, x1 plus y1 plus g x plus x1 plus f y plus y1 plus c equal to 0. Now I substitute one by one. So we would have 3x plus y minus 4 times with x plus 3 uh, plus with 3 times with y plus 1 plus 8 equal to 0. After that, we have to simplify this equation to obtain a standard equation of a tangent. So I simplify this out. We will get negative x plus 4y minus 1 equal to 0. If I rearrange into the straight line standard form, we would have y is basically x over 4 plus 1 over 4. This is in the form of y equal to mx plus c. And this is the tangent equation to a circle. Okay, settle with the first part, tangent equation. Now, we have to find the normal equation to a circle. Alright, so we first must understand the connection between tangent and normal. So you already learned this before. Basically, if we have a straight line called tangent, perpendicular to it would be normal equation. So what's the connection between these two? If we multiply up our gradient, I use the notation of m here as gradient. So gradient tangent multiply with gradient of normal would be negative 1. Means now, in order to find the normal equation, we have to obtain the tangent part first. That's why before I rearrange our tangent equation in the form of y equal to mx plus c, so that straight away we will obtain our um, gradient for the tangent equation. So here, our gradient for tangent would be 1 over 4. Means now, our gradient of a normal would be negative 1. If I divide with a gradient of a tangent, means that we would have negative 4 as the gradient of normal. After that, in order to find the equation of normal, you just have to straight away substitute into the formula of a straight line. Either you want to use y equal to mx plus c, but careful, c here means y-intercept. First, I just rewrite it first. So, equation of normal. So, either you want to use equation y equal to mx plus c. So, but be careful here. C in this case is y-intercept. Means we have to find it first. And C here not the C from the previous part. So don't simply substitute C equal to 8 into the equation. So and you will get the wrong equation. So, but second option, we can use a formula of a straight line y minus y1 equal to m, which is the gradient, x minus x1. Y1 and X1 in this case is the point given in the question. So that's why I prefer to use this second formula because you already obtained the gradient. You already know the point from the question. So in order to find the equation, you just have to straight away substitute all the values. So here y minus y1, our first point just now is 1, equal to m. So gradient here means you have to substitute gradient for normal. So we have negative 4 x minus x1. x1 here our coordinate from the original question. In this case it is 3. So after that, you may just simplify this up to obtain a proper form of equation of normal to a circle. So we have y equal to negative 4x plus with 13. Okay, so I recap it first. First, in order to find tangent equation to a circle, you have to identify G, F, C, x1 and y1. After that, substitute all this value into the formula of tangent equation of a circle and then simplify it out until you obtain the equation of y equal to mx plus c. And that's it for tangent to a circle. Now, in order to find the normal equation to a circle, first, you must find the gradient. The connection between tangent and normal would be if we multiply the gradient, we would have negative 1 as our answer. So that's why to find the gradient of a normal, I divide our gradient of tangent with negative 1. So that's how we get negative 4 as the gradient of normal. So now, once we obtain the gradient, you may use either y equal to mx plus c or y minus y1 equal to mx minus x1 formula. But be careful, if you want to use y equal to mx plus c, c in this case is y-intercept and not c from the circle just now. So don't simply substitute c equal to 8 into our formula. You have to find the value of c, which is another value. That's why here I recommend to use the second formula of a straight line to find the equation of an amount. Just simply substitute x1 and y1 from the equation. And for gradient m, we have to substitute gradient of a normal. And then after that, you may simplify it until you get the final answer to find the equation of a normal. Last part of a circle would be on how to find length of tangent. So normally for length of tangent, we would use a straight Pythagoras theorem formula. So this is the situation of the question. The question would give a fixed point outside of a circle, in this case point P, A and B. And then in order to find the length of tangent, we can construct a right angle triangle and use Pythagoras theorem formula. So example 9, find the length of tangent from a point 6, 7 to the circle. Okay, so I try to illustrate this situation first. So in this case, we have a circle with the equation. Okay, so from the general equation of circle, we can find the center. So if we compare here, 2g is negative 2 means g will be negative 1. 2f is negative 8. So f in this case would be negative 4. Means our center here would be 1, 4. Careful, it's negative g, negative f. So we have a center at 1, 4. Alright. Now, from the general equation, we can also find the radius. So using the formula, it would be g squared, so 1, plus f squared, 16, minus c. C in this case is negative 8. So from here, negative 8, so plus 8 here. So our radius in this case would be 5. Alright, so now I label radius. I use a straight line here is 5. So we have to find the length of tangent from a point that lies outside of our circle. Here it's point A. at 6, 7. So if we construct this up, this may form a right angle triangle. So length of tangent I now label as D. Okay, so if I construct it back, in case you confuse, in the form of right angle triangle, now here we have a fixed point 1, 4, and then fixed point 6, 7. After that, for the base, it's basically the radius of 5. And we have to find D. So in order to find D, we must find the hypotenuse first. In this case, I just label as H. So in order to find length of H, it's basically distance between 2 points. So you can use the formula of distance between 2 points. So H in this case would be surd of 6 minus 1 squared plus 7 minus 4 squared. Simplify this up, our H would be surd of 34. Okay, so now, in order to find length of tangent or D, it is basically by using Pythagoras theorem, hypotenuse minus base. Okay, so here our D would be surd of 34 squared minus with 5 squared. So we have 34 minus 25, we're going to get 3 as our length of tangent.